Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Tyler Toshiro, and in 2012, I got my entrepreneurial start inside the network marketing industry. I built a team of around 850 people in around 4 to 5 months. I did a lot of really awesome things. I was lucky and blessed enough to earn a little bit of money as an 18 and 19-year-old pretty quick. At the peak, I was doing around 2 grand a week, semi-automated. You know how those things go, but what I realized in 2013 is I wanted to change and I wanted to move towards real lifestyle freedom and just set up an automated system that would crank me leads, crank me sales, and just really help me free up some time, which is why I got started in the online space and really inside the entrepreneurial space in the first place. So here's the gist of it. In this next part of the video, I'm going to interview two of my most recent case studies, my students that I've been coaching. The first one is going to be Kason Wright, who is a 23-year-old entrepreneur from Utah, and the second one is going to be a guy named Derek Baeza, who is a 24-year-old entrepreneur from New Mexico. Both of them just got started on their internet marketing journey recently, and through my coaching, and I don't really even want to take much credit for them because they did all the work. But point being is they listened to some of my coaching, my advice that I gave them, and they both had some incredible results because of it. So stay tuned if you're looking for just a change and maybe some ideas and tips on how to build your business, your online brand, or your affiliate just promotion, whatever you're doing. I think you're going to get a lot of value from this video. So stay tuned. I can't wait for you to check out Kason and Derek's interviews. I think you're going to get a lot of insight here. Here we go.
Brother, we're live. We are live. Well, first of all, one more time, public congratulations on a big week last week. You did 10K in sales and you put 6K of that in your pocket as commissions. So it's pretty awesome. Well, first of all, Kason, remind me, when did you first buy Renaissance?
It was October of last year.
October of 2016. And when did you start taking like the online marketing thing seriously? Was it right out of the gate, or did you kind of sit on it for a little bit and then you took it seriously, at a later date? Like, what was that story like?
I think mentally I took it seriously right out of the gate. Like I was in, I was ready, I was stoked to dig in and start going. But I didn't actually take action until around Christmas time. So it was a couple months. I was traveling and just kind of.
Well, you just came off a big summer of commissions as well. So, I remember you saying you're celebrating a little bit, traveling around with your girl. You guys went to like New York and a bunch of other places. So you started taking it seriously around Christmas. So let's expand that a little bit for people that are watching. That's about 4 months from today was about Christmas, right? So maybe a little less than 4 months. So a little over 90 days. And in that 90-day time span, you learned a bunch of really, really cool things. One of my favorite things to date as an entrepreneur was the text that I got from you saying, bro, I'm generating 20 leads a day, and I got 4 applications for buyers today. And then literally within 90 minutes, you popped your first sale of that text. And it was just like unbelievable. The feeling for me as just someone that gets to watch you crush and step into your power even more. And this is just the beginning. So to watch you step into your power here, and then I'm sure for you, what was that feeling like?
Amazing, man. Like you can't even describe, like, you have this, you see people making money online, it's just kind of this pipe dream for a while. And you don't really realize that it's a realistic thing until it actually happens.
Yeah.
And to make your first dollar online and have it be a $3,000 commission, which covers a month of bills and everything like that, it's just crazy, man. It felt incredible.
That's awesome, man. And let's take it back. Let's time travel back to, I remember when you first bought, I was actually in the airport. I was like 10 minutes away from hopping on my flight. And you purchased at that moment. And I remember a couple reasons on why you actually joined in the first place, whether it be personal reasons, company reasons, leadership reasons. But tell us, why Renaissance? Out of everything else that's out there that you could be promoting, out of all the other universities that you could be learning from, why Invisible Empire, why Renaissance?
Well, knowing you guys personally and Mark especially, and having had learned from Mark and bought his programs and courses in the past, I trust you guys. I trust him because I know that everything that Mark puts out is quality. It over delivers every time. But honestly, at first, Renaissance appealed to me just as a product. I was like, you know what, whether I decide to sell this or not and like really start an online business, I want this as a consumer because it's just dope. I mean, it's incredible deals on vacations, and I love to travel. Most people do. So that was kind of a no-brainer for me. But from the perspective of actually wanting the training and being able to go through Invisible Empire and learning how to create an online business, it was just an easy decision because I know that Mark over-delivers on everything he creates. And you guys just do such a great job as leadership and creating a community of people who support each other and really help push the momentum of everyone involved forward.
That's awesome. And let's flash forward now a little bit. When did you generate, so after you took it seriously, let's call it December 25th. When did you start generating your first leads online? I know it takes a little bit to set up the infrastructure. It takes some time to set up ClickFunnels, get response, sync your funnel up. Like that's the bulk of the work for the most part, is setting it up. And then the iterations are actually what matter the most, in my opinion. But take us through your first couple leads. What did that feel like? When did that happen? Was it quick? Did it take a while? How much did you have to spend on Facebook advertising before any leads came in? What was that like?
It took a little bit. It took about probably 45 days to get all the tech stuff all set up. And honestly, I've seen people do it in a weekend. So I took it a little slower than some people do. But once I got everything set up and I was running some Facebook ad campaigns, it was frustrating at first because I was actually wasted a few $100s on Facebook ads because I had like the wrong link or just a glitch in my funnel, so it wasn't even working. So that, I got down on myself a few times when some tech things went wrong.
Yeah.
But the support teams, with all the things we use are phenomenal, and they helped me fix everything. And once I got everything up and running and then tested it again and realized, okay, it's working. That day I started getting my first leads.
Oh man.
One or two leads creeped in. It felt pretty cool, You get some lead, and then I wrote a honeypot post, from the wisdom I learned from you guys at the last live event. I went home and wrote a honeypot post based on the event. Got about 30 free leads from that, just friends and people I know on Facebook that were interested. So yeah, it didn't take long, once all the tech stuff was done and out of the way, for some leads to start coming in.
And at the point in which you wasted a few $100 on Facebook, I see a lot of people quit when that happens, because it's almost like if we took a room full of internet marketers, let's say at our next event coming up here in a few weeks, and we said, raise your hand if you've wasted money by mistaking some tech stuff, everyone raises their hand. Anyone that's ever advertised on Facebook always goes, yeah, when I first started, I didn't even know it wasn't working, and so I was spending money and it wasn't even working. Why didn't you quit? What's the point of staying there? Because most people don't have the wherewithal to get through the hurdles, because the hurdles are actually what matter. If you quit then, or if you quit many a times that you had a chance to, even to get started, or 60 days after you purchased initially, there's a wait time there and there's a dead period there. A lot of people die in these realms. What made you want to keep going?
Honestly, the option to quit just wasn't ever a thing. I don't know. When I decided to actually give this a try, quitting wasn't an option. I was going to just see it through until, I was either successful or, I don't know, I've
no other option.
50 grand on ads and hadn't made one sale, then maybe I'd throw in the towel. But yeah, I don't know, just to run into a few issues and quit wasn't ever an option for me.
I love it. And I think that mindset, if more people adopted that mindset, it'd be easier for them to hit their goals. And I love that, Kason. Now, what changed for you? So now we're 45 days in. You started generating your first leads. From that time to about 45 days later when you made your first sale from a complete stranger online, and then you made your second sale 24 hours later or less from a complete stranger online. What changed? Or did, after so many days of sowing, finally you started reaping? Was that it? Or did something shift in your marketing? What was that like?
A few things shifted. I can't really tell you exactly what, because I don't know. Because I actually completely redid my ad campaign. So I changed everything. I wish I knew what was the magic thing I changed, but I changed everything. So I'm not really sure, but I just took what Landon and Chris taught me. They did a one-on-one like hot seat webinar where they had me in the hot seat and my ads and my funnel, and they just criticized everything piece by piece and just taught me what to do. And I just took the changes they suggested, implemented them, and what do you know? It worked. Like everything they said was right. I started getting, leads at like a fifth of the cost that I was getting before.
Well, what were you getting before? Let's dive into those numbers. And then what are you getting today?
I was getting about $10 leads before.
Wow, you went from 10 to 2.
To be a new, that's expensive. Yeah, I know, $10 leads. But as a newbie, it's like,
it's awesome.
Fine. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They creep down to like $8 leads, but right now, my current ad campaign that's running right now is at an average of $1.60 leads, and it's just like it's like night and day. But it's just all the changes that they taught me to do. I did it, and that's just the cool thing about the community, I guess, is the leadership is so transparent. Whatever works for them, they share with us.
Yeah. I mean, the culture that we have here is so amazing, and the leadership here is, in my opinion, it's just bar none the best I've ever seen in any culture of like entrepreneurs I've ever been in or around, because everything is so accessible and hands-on, where I feel like leadership elsewhere can kind of feel like it's out of touch, and here it's almost like your next door neighbor kind of thing. So what do you like about specifically, like, what do you like about our culture, leadership-wise? Like, what makes you excited to share Renaissance with someone like your 2 recent buyers, because they're about to get engaged in what you've been engaged with for the last 4 or 5 months?
Well, there's a lot of things I like about it. It's just like you mentioned, it's like they're your next door neighbor. It's just the personability. The fact that the Facebook community is just like, you get on there and all these people, energy and momentum is going every single day, new posts, new things that are happening, and everyone is there for you to, engage with and feed off of their energy, and everybody wants to see everybody else succeed. It's just a really cool environment. You can hop in another Facebook group where you don't really know anybody, and it kind of just has this different vibe where they're posting questions and hoping to get some answers from random people. If you go into this Facebook community, whether you know anybody or not, it's like as soon as you're introduced, everybody's welcoming you in. It just, you feel like they're all your friends already.
Yeah.
So you feel like you can ask questions and engage with people and really connect. And it's just the transparency of the leadership. They've done all the hard work, all the trial and error, and figured out what works. You guys have put in all the effort to sift through the things that don't work and the strategies that do, and then you just share them with us. I don't know why sometimes. Jesus, keep these secrets to yourself. No, I'm kidding, but it's fantastic.
Dude, that is so awesome. And I think one of the coolest parts about our culture is that no matter if you're talking to someone who's brand new online or you're talking to guys that have made 7 or 8 figures online, everyone's here to learn. Everyone's here to share. And no one has an ego that's like clearly, they don't have an ego that allows them to, or that makes them feel like they're better than everyone. We're just all here to learn. We're all here to share strategies that work the best for us. And I think it's a really core group because everyone understands that there's plenty of prosperity to go around. So by sharing your secrets, you're not taking money out of your bank account or something silly like that. You're just empowering other people to do better. And so I have a couple more questions here, and we'll wrap quick here, Kason. Now that you're deeper in the game, what do you wish you knew when you first started? Like, let's take your mindset now, and let's rewind it back to October. What do you wish you knew?
I wish I knew it would work. I mean, I did. Like, I trusted that it would work. But until it actually does, until you actually see that first sale go through,
yeah.
Honestly, I was stressed, man. Like, I have a deep-rooted fear of failing at something that I, commit to. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I see all these other people succeeding, and I had to look myself in the mirror every single day and just remind myself, look, the work you're doing now, it's going to pay off. It's going to work eventually. Even if it takes 5 years, like hypothetically, let's say it takes 5 years of just, trial and error and failing and failing and failing. At that point, I would be 29 years old, And if that's when it works, when I'm 29 and I can retire after a couple years after that, basically, because I've figured it out, that's fine. I knew it wouldn't take 5 years. But yeah, I wish when I started, I knew exactly when I would make my first sale. Because it's hard to believe that it's going to work so soon.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I love that. I love that. Because that would give you confidence right out of the gate, right? Versus like hope, you'd have some confidence. And I think that's really insightful because I don't think it's possible. I literally, until it happens for you, and you're like, wow, this is like, it's almost like every morning you get up and drink a glass of water. That's what internet marketing is one day, right? So it's one day, something changes, and everything's different. But until then, it's like, it's just kind of like this thing that you're working towards. But when it happens, it's like, it becomes so real, and then soon case, and like, we'll be doing this again maybe in 60, 90 days maybe, and you're just going to be like, it just is who I am, right? Like, this is just normal. Like popping 2 to 3 Renaissance sales a week or a day or whatever you're doing 90 days from now, like that's just a normal thing. And so, last couple questions here. So for people that are watching this right now, we have people inevitably from around the world looking for a high ticket product. They're searching into Renaissance, watching this video. What do you want them to know?
Well, I want them to know first off that Renaissance is just a super dope product in itself. It's easy to sell. It sells itself. So if you're thinking, oh, it's $5,000, like that's a big commitment on my part, and then not to mention that's a hard thing to ask of somebody else. You know, if I'm trying to sell this, it's not. It is like people who are watching this, they may know something about it. They may know nothing about it. I encourage you to actually, reach out to whoever you first heard about Renaissance from, and actually, really understand what the product itself is. Travel membership, and it's just awesome. I mean, amazing deals on 4 and 5-star resorts all over the world. They just can't be beat anywhere else. Boom. Hands down better than timeshares. Hands down better than really any other option that I've looked into on the market. Because I did look into a few just because I was curious. I'd never heard of anything like this before, so I wanted to see, does it exist elsewhere? And it does. But Renaissance is unique in a lot of ways. So besides all of the learning how to create an online business, the product itself is just amazing. It just sells itself. So, and to have a system that teaches you how to sell high ticket, and then also that same system gives you the offer to sell, where you don't have to go create your own something to sell. Like, it's all done for you. It's there. Plug in, follow the steps, done.
I love it. I love it. And last little bonus question here, and we'll wrap case in. Where do you plan on going first with Renaissance here? I know you have some ideas. Maybe you have a trip plan that I don't know about yet. Where do you plan on booking a vacation first?
I'm not sure. I've been looking at a lot of different things. Maybe I was looking at this vacation home in Colorado. It's in like Pagosa Springs. It's like a 4-bedroom house.
You're going to book the same place we stayed at this December. We were in that house.
Oh, is that the one?
2-story, yep. It's 4-bedroom.
Nice.
It's 4-bedroom, but it sleeps 10 full-grown men easily because 2 of the bedrooms have 2 beds in it. There are pull-out couches, like other separate beds and futons and stuff. It's just incredible. Book it. It's awesome.
Okay. I'm thinking about it because I want to take my whole family there, because we always do every summer we do like a family vacation. Mm-hmm. So I'll take my parents and my siblings and just go have a week vacation. And I mean, before I could never even fathom like paying for the family vacation, because it's you're $2,000 usually. Mm-hmm. But this would be $398 for 7 nights, and it's close enough to drive because we live in Utah, so it's awesome. Yeah, I think that's what I'm looking at right now.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see pictures and videos of that trip. It'll be just amazing. You guys have to go to the hot springs out there. Those natural hot springs are some of the oldest in the entire country. And that's the same grounds that thousands of years ago, Native Americans, the tribes would fight over that land because they believed the springs were sacred and healing the body. And it's kind of like that today a little bit without the fighting. But it is like you walk out of there and you just feel like a new person. So I appreciate you spending some time with us here on this interview case, and it's going to really impact a lot. What's up? Thanks for doing this interview with me today. I think people are going to get some great value out of it.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Really quick, let's refresh everyone. How long have you been a part of Renaissance here?
12 days. I've been in for 12 days.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And then I remember when you joined, we were actually at a bar in Huntington Beach, California, and you're in the midst of going to the Tony Robbins event. I think it was
Right.
after day one, and you were just talking about
Right.
wanting to work on something a little bigger in your business life. You said that what you were working on right now, you felt like you almost kind of hit a plateau. And
Right.
from there, you were curious about the online marketing space and Renaissance and everything, and it was awesome to see because that night was actually we were at the bar as like 1 in the morning, and you were like, you know what, let's just do it right now, and you pulled out
Right.
your credit card and bought Renaissance then, and the rest is kind of history here. But let's fill everyone in that's watching this right now. Why'd you join? So like, I'm curious about personal reasons, maybe company stuff, maybe it's something that I said as well. Maybe it's a combination of a few things, but share with us, man. Why Renaissance amongst all these other different things that you could be doing?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, I'm kind of reaching a plateau in the career path that I'm in right now. So I was definitely ready for a change, and I have been kind of vibing on the internet marketing aspect and just kind of what's out there. Just because I think I'm on the level of maybe conscious or maybe even unconscious competence because I really don't know. Even right now, I don't really know a whole lot of what's out there. So I definitely want to get into that space because I see a lot of trends are going into the online marketing. And really, the reason why I hopped into Renaissance is, I didn't know much about the product. I didn't know much about the pay. I knew very, very little, but I was really attracted to the leadership and the people that I know that are involved. I know, our buddy Matt Shetler, Mark. There's a couple of guys that I definitely look up to in this group, and I was more attracted to you guys really than I was into the product. And once I learned a little bit more about the product and the pay structure, it was just, it was awesome. It worked great both ways.
Awesome, man. Awesome. And let's talk about your recent success. Pretty cool to watch unfold here. And so, to give people a little context, what we decided is while you're getting your online systems ready and going and all of that, we would do a small campaign to just like some inner circle people that you knew. And within 30 hours of you purchasing Renaissance, you ring the cash register and made your first 5K sale, which was a 3K commission in your pocket, which must have felt unbelievable, especially that early in the
Absolutely.
game. Share with us, what was the story on that?
Yeah. So, like you said a couple minutes ago, I was actually at the Tony Robbins event whenever I met up with you and actually purchased Renaissance. And I actually purchased quite a few more of his programs. And I put myself in a position to, I definitely wanted to make a payment towards this purchase that I'd recently made. And I was just like, man, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I was like, hey, I just joined this thing called Renaissance and I can make 3K a pop. I'm going to do that. And I talked to you a little bit. I think it was maybe, about 15 hours before I made the sale, give or take. And I said, hey, Tyler, let's pop in a sale within the next day just because I really want to get the ball rolling. And I think just the energy and the passion and the, just I guess the momentum and the enthusiasm that I was carrying over from this last live event that I went to, from the Tony Robbins event, to joining Renaissance, to making a sale. I think all that just kind of complemented everything. So whenever I went to go speak to this guy, his name is Jimmy. And whenever I went to go speak to Jimmy, I just spoke with so much enthusiasm and so much emotion. And I just, from everything that I know, whenever it comes to selling anything that I've ever sold, I know that emotion has a lot to do with it. And I think the same way that I purchased is he bought into me as well as a product. And I just showed him the value. And he was, once he saw that he's a guy that travels every quarter. So once he saw how much that he'd be saving, the type of resorts that he'd be able to stay at, it was just an instant no-brainer to him. So everything worked out perfect.
That's beautiful. And your leadership shows there because you can have the best product in the world, but unless you're passionate about it and unless you're educated on that subject or whatever you're selling, there's just no way to translate how awesome it is to people. So I do want to say, in my opinion, you did most of that, but Renaissance was just kind of just the product that he got out of it.
Right.
Which is great because, like we were talking about, it's funny because we were going over more details on the membership and stuff. And you're like, geez,
Right.
This product just gets better the more I learn about it. You being new to everything as well. So I think the big takeaway here for people like on the outside looking in, and one of the big takeaways here is just understanding that sometimes you don't, and we talked about this at the bar the other night, you don't need to be 100% on anything because
Right.
most of the time you won't be. But if a majority of your gut's telling you that you should go for something, you got to listen to that because usually it's
Absolutely.
right. And so now that you're deeper in the game, 12 days, so not that deep yet. But now that you're deeper in the game here,
Yeah, no, not that deep.
yeah. Do you wish, do you wish you knew something that you knew now when you first got started? Do you wish, I mean, is there anything that you wish you did 12 days ago, or is everything kind of just falling into play the way it's meant to be right now?
Um, so I think if I would have just
Derek, I might have lost you there really quick. Let's see if we can recover some of this audio here. Oh, you're back.
Sorry about that.
No, you're all
I
good.
had an interruption here. Anyways, I think everything worked out great. I think it would have made it a little bit easier in a few of the presentations that I've had if I would have knew just a little bit more about the product. But I think this is a great question right now because it's kind of opens my mind to what do I want to know now that I'll wish I would have knew, whenever I'm in my month 2 or 3 into this. So I think it's a great question, but at the same time, I think in the stage I'm in right now, I think it might be a little early. So my answer to that would be maybe just a little bit more knowledge on the actual product itself.
And I think the beautiful part about what you've done, Derek, is you've allowed action taking to actually allow to have these questions appear and then you get the questions answered. Whereas I think the scary part for most people when they're launching a business is they ask way too many questions and they get information overload on the front end
Right.
that prevents them from taking action. Mark gives a really good example of information, and he says in the beginning, obviously you want to know about what you're doing and stuff, but once you have that base level of knowledge, the action taking will
Right.
solve everything else. And instead of using information as just like this thing that you take every day but you don't do anything with, like it's almost like adding fuel to your airplane while it's in the air, right? So it's like every new
Right.
piece of information adds more fuel to that plane so your trip can, you can continue. And I think that's really just a core piece of why you've seen success right out of the gate
Right.
with this thing.
Absolutely. I agree.
And the fun part is it's kind of just the beginning here. So a couple more questions here, and we'll wrap this thing up, Derek. What attracted you? You said you were really attracted to the leadership. You're attracted to like some of the team that we have behind the scenes here. What about just our crew in Invisible Empire and Renaissance made you so intrigued to get everything started?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I can go on and on for this for forever. But some of the initial things that attracted to me right away was just again your leadership, your support, and then just the conversations that I have with you guys outside of business, and they're so deep. And I kind of like put myself into like maybe even a little time frame, like what could this be? If we're having these great conversations, and if these guys are adding so much value into my life in these little 5-10 minute conversations at the bar, what more could this be if I were to get into some sort of business with them? And that's just that idea alone really kind of resonated with my whole thought process on being attracted to you guys. So I think that right there was probably my main, I guess, attraction to you guys is just your leadership, your support, your knowledge, your wisdom. I think all that kind of ties together.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I appreciate that a ton. 2 more quick questions here. So for people that are watching this right now as we wrap up, what's the parting thought, if any, that you want them to know?
Yeah, so I think that what we were going back to just a little bit on action taking and just maybe even sales. So again, I don't know a whole lot yet about the online marketing, but I know there's so much potential with Renaissance and the product that you guys offer through Renaissance, the travel and all that. I think there's just so much value that could be sold even at the retail level, which is what I did, and maybe not even so much at the opportunity level. And I think I would assume that there may be some limiting beliefs in some people that maybe selling it as a retail, as a retail product isn't as easy as selling it as an opportunity product. And I think there's just so much potential in that retail, I guess, arena to go out and make a few sales just because there's so much value. I think I was telling you the other day, that, once you told me that this is a 100-year contract, I was like, holy cow. I think this product is worth a lot more than just $5,000. Just there's so much value into what we're doing. You go purchase a car, you go purchase whatever, and it's going to go depreciate. You purchase Renaissance, and I actually think it's going to appreciate, because you're saving money every time you use it, and you can transfer it over to your family. It's such a great buy.
It's a legacy piece, man. And
absolutely.
With that being said, like right now I'm in the midst of creating a 100% retail based funnel for online marketing, right? So it's a beautiful thing that we can work both ends, and it's a product that I truly believe in. Like I was sharing with you at the bar, I'm just as comfortable watching you, a friend of mine, buy this as I am watching a random person, a lead, buy this online. And it's important to have that correlation, because if you don't believe in the products or the services that you sell, you probably wouldn't want your friends or family buying from you because you feel kind of ashamed, right?
Absolutely.
Whereas, a lead online is a little different. This way, it's both. Both ways work great. And I'm excited for everyone that gets their membership started. Now, the last little bonus here that I wanted to hit before we leave is, where do you see yourself using this membership first? Like, where are you planning on vacation with this thing right out of the gate?
Yeah, sure. So something else I was thinking about earlier too is, I know a lot of people that have, mortgages in between $1,000 to $1,200, but then I know some people that have, they're paying rent, or they're in a really nice place and they're paying upwards of sometimes even $3,000 just on their mortgage or just on their rent, whatever it may be. And I kind of look at Renaissance like, wow, I can go stay at a 5-star resort. And if you go look through these resorts that we have access to, they're not, less than half of them are in the $699 and up range. There's so many that are so much less. So I'm thinking I'd like to go, I hang out in Scottsdale every now and then, and I can almost pay for a room for 7 nights. And it's almost about as much as I'm paying back home at my rented apartment on a 1-year lease. So that's kind of the way I look at it. And I'd like to kind of use it more as just like let's go take a break. And then also I think I'd like to go on an actual vacation to, maybe Mexico or Hawaii. But actually what I did day before yesterday is I requested the dates. I think it's the end of October, early November at, I think it's Orange Lake, something Orange Resort in Scottsdale. And I'd like to go hang out there in the prime winter season in Scottsdale. So that's where I'm headed next.
Beautiful, man. Well, I appreciate you spending some time with us here today. I know people are getting a lot of value by watching this, and can't wait to see the rest of your journey here with Renaissance unfold. This is just the beginning here. So it's been fun thus far, but so many more amazing things to come.
Heck yeah, thanks.
Awesome. So here we go. You just watched an interview with Kaysen and with Derek. Hopefully you got some golden nuggets that you can apply into your business today that'll help you grow your online brand and your presence as an entrepreneur in this vast internet space. So here's what to do next. You may be curious right now on how you can start cranking 3K commissions with Renaissance like I taught Kaysen and Derek how to do. Really, this is the product that set my entire life free, and I can't wait to share it with more people. So here's the gist of it. If saving 60 to 90% off travel sounds amazing to you, and if making 3K commissions off each sale that you make sound great, if that provides some lifestyle clarity and freedom for you, here's what to do next. You have 2 options. The first option is you can go ahead and just reach back out to me in the comments in this video. I understand it's a YouTube video. At the point of this recording, I haven't really built my YouTube brand, so I don't really have very many comments or anything circulating around on there, so I'll see it. So you can drop a comment below on this exact video. Just let me know, hey, reach out, or you can actually just drop your Instagram handle or your best email down there, and I'll get in contact with you. Or option B is you can send me an email right now saying that you just watched the YouTube video. Let me know how you liked it. Let me know what intrigued you. Let me know any questions that you may have that I can answer for you in regards to online marketing or Renaissance. And you can do that by heading to the following website. I'll try to add that in like the little thing on this video. It'll be like text that come up right here magically, right? So it's you can email me at contact@tylertoshiro.com, right? So it's contact, the little @ symbol, and then my full name, tylertoshiro.com, and just let me know what you loved about it, any questions that you may have, and we'll help you get your Renaissance journey started today. Cannot wait. Hopefully you enjoyed these interviews, and until next time, peace.